Hi everybody, it's Christina at Scrapcraft and Stitchery, and I am going to do a quick introduction for this video because I feel like there's already a lot going on. As you can see, hopefully this is not totally overwhelming for you, but this is the beginning of this. So I just got the next prompts for the 50 stack challenge. There's cat hair everywhere. I don't know where that came from. So just got the new challenge for this week, and Amy at Crafty Cat is doing the 50 stack challenge. This is my stack so far, so this is the third week, and I have the first 2 weeks here. And one of the things I'm super excited about is building a stack of 50 ephemera. And these are my first ones, so I'm looking forward to having this grow bigger. So I have pulled out, and I've kind of already figured out what I'm going to do for this week's prompts. So I've pulled out, these are the 50 or so cards that I've pre-cut, and I'm making journal cards that are on this 4 by 6 inch base. So I just cut a whole bunch of cards, and I am probably going to use this one. Some of these are already on these beautiful scrapbooking papers, cardstocks that I cut. So this one I'm going to use for postage, and I already kind of decided what I'm doing, and I just wanted to show you what I'm going to do. This is the first time I've done this, and again, like, I decided to make journal cards because I want to be writing in my journal more, and so this seems like a great way to kind of invite that space. This was sticker, this was ripped. These two I made together, and they can go either way. They're both sticker and ripped. Love these so much. Anyway, this was green tree, and it flips up and it flips down, and there's more trees on the back. I love this. It's kind of simple and beautiful. And this is lace, and it's got this pocket with a notebook in it, which I might have to fix because it's sticking in there. And then it's got this postcard in a pocket, and then there's more space where you could write on the back and add a picture, and that can just go into a pocket in your journal. So this is my stack so far. I think this is going to be huge by the time I'm done. I don't know if I'm going to use these as I go along, but right now I just want to not. I want to make this huge stack of cards to have as ephemera. So Stamp was the pick that she pulled today and announced. Stamp. So I have this pack of space themed, moon themed, I don't know, stamps, which I haven't used. They're just kind of in my collection. And so I have this kind of fun astrology based paper that's got a background already kind of going on in my pile of things. So I felt like this was kind of the direction I needed to go. And then I have these other, I just pulled these out where I have collected things that are kind of moon astronomy based things, as well as these other scrapbooking papers, which are gorgeous double-sided papers that I've had for a while, and I just haven't done anything with these. So I thought they were very fun. I don't know if I'm going to get to the papers, but that is going to be that one. And then for flower, I have, so this should be pretty straightforward. I'm not entirely sure what this is going to look like yet, but that's kind of the materials I'm working for that. And then flower, I'm pulling it out of my stack. I thought I had one out. I have these bug papers that are green that have embossed, and they're a little bit shiny. And those are kind of the background papers. So I'm going to use one of these for the background. Probably this one, because it's got like a butterfly and a dragonfly and a bee. And I think that's great for flower. But I want to pair that with, I've been making these foam stamps. Do I have them? I was going to show you. Anyway, I have this, I just got some foam, and I've been playing around with making foam stamps. And I've done a cat, and I've done some leaves. I have to clear off Grimm's bed since he's going to come join me. Of course he is. I don't know why I thought that I could get away. I keep his bed cleared. In all of this chaos, there is a place for Grimm. He's up there now. So I have these just fun foam stamps, and I've been making some stamps. I've done some cats so far. I did some leaves, and look for that. These are the stamps that I've made so far. This is a cat-shaped leaf from the, I think it's a tulip poplar that grows here where I live. And they have these crazy cat-shaped leaves. So there's that. So I'm going to make some flower stamps and stamp them onto some of this background paper that I've made, or maybe onto book page. And I'm actually thinking book page. These are pretty too. We'll see. Maybe I'll mix and match. So that's what I'm going to do for flower. And I'm going to do these. So that is the prompts. And so prompt number 5 is stamp, and prompt number, I think it's postage stamp. And prompt number 6 is, I'm going to do a astronomy themed postage stamp, and I'll do a foam stamp flower, and I'm going to make the stamps myself. So I'm excited. I'm super excited to see how these come out. So let's go play as soon as I clean off my desk. So I am starting to work on postage stamp, and I have this beautiful, this is kind of like pearlized paper, and it's really pretty. It's got a very pretty stamp on it, and this is in my stack of 50. So I am going to combine this. So when I had postage stamp, I knew that I had these stamps. These are just stickers that are postage stamp stickers, and they're in a astronomy kind of a theme with moon phases and things, and I have a collection of things that I've never really gotten into with using these, and I didn't want to cover this. I got this idea that I wanted to do kind of layers over this background so it doesn't wash out this background, and so what I decided is I cut out a couple of sheets of vellum to go over the top, and I want to layer these on using these, and I accidentally cut this the wrong way, so this is a little bit shorter for this piece of vellum, which I think might add to my layering, and I think I can come up with a way and put one of these stickers over the top. Maybe not this one, but one of these long stickers that I have, and so I think that I can work with that and do something really cool and do layers and layers, and I'm just going to attach these with this, and I might do some stitching too, because I kind of think that that might, and I have limited myself to this one piece of scrapbook paper to build layers into the vellum, and I have some stamps. So those are the things I'm giving myself to work with on this, as well as I have this cool piece of lab notebook to line the back of this card with, to make a writing space for my journal card. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to work on making layers and attaching this to the front of the card and just kind of having fun with that is kind of where I've gotten myself to. And I picked these things because I felt like these star shapes would be, I'd be able to cut some of these out in a fussy cut kind of a way and include them. And maybe some of the planets into my vellum. I love this scrapbook paper. I think it's so cool. Which is why I bought it, right? I don't know if I want to use the big one. I think this will be kind of like, I kind of want to use the big one. I do want to use this yellow one because, and I just chose this because I felt, I'm going to use this one for this size. I do kind of like these lines that are going out, but I'm going to have to lose a lot of them. Part of the thing too is I have been working with a lot of compasses and compass roses. With the compass rose a lot, and these are very much compass rose kind of stars. So I have been playing with this shape, and I just thought it was cool that it's kind of coming back to me in this way. So that was fun. So, not hard to decide to do this. This is going to be another very long video, and right now I don't know. I realize that I'm making some very long videos, and I just kind of want to show all of the process of what I'm doing here. These have some very interesting things. That kind of, I don't know what that is. These blobs and stuff on here. I am fussy cutting this out, and I am keeping what I think is I really like, and I am cutting off what I don't really want to be bothered with. That's what I'm doing. And I might go get my other scissors because I don't see them in here. They are in here. Aha! This is going to be really cool, I think, once this is all layered up. This is Nova Ember Wild. Don't poke your eye out with these scissors, please. Please. No crafting accidents. She is just the sweetest little girl cat. You can see Grimm's tail back here. I have 4 cats. And some of them are very attention seeking. Just loves to keep me company, honestly, I think. And Nova just doesn't know what to do with herself. So here she is. Yes, you're a good girl. She's purring. Yes, I love you. You're such a sweet girl. I think the reason we have 4 cats is there are 2 people in the house and 3 cats and then Nova. And she needs all of us to kind of keep her need for attention. So, I mean, she would not do well in a she's such a love bug, and she loves everybody so much and everything so much. but she just can't keep it bottled up. And she has to let everybody know. And she would be a lot for just one person to take, I think. Because she has so much love to go around. And she definitely feels all of her feels very strongly. Okay. We have those two cut out. So I got these out, and one of the things I wanted to do with the Ancient Uncharted Mariner was I really wanted to ink these. These are like paper corners, and I like to ink them to match whatever I'm doing. So I thought the Uncharted Mariner would be kind of pretty with this teal blue star. And also, what do these things look like? There's a star. That is a thing we're gonna have to pull out. I don't know. And then this star can certainly come out and go there. Probably this thing. This thing. This is such a pretty color. I like that a lot. Okay. So we'll ink those and let those dry, and I think it does like look really good with that. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh, yes. So let's leave this out. Great. This is fabulous. All right. I have this mouse pad, and I'm gonna put this down to stamp on. And I got these book pages. Out, so I can put these here and just not really worry about going off the edge of my piece. Just some scratch. Let's work on layering. So is what I think is we want to do is I'm gonna stamp this with the blue, and I might find some yellow, so I'm starting to turn I was gonna do a practice so I could see what these stamps look like. Right? Okay. That's fine. Why is that so dark on that one side? So I just need to kind of fill these in to make layers and layers and layers is what I'm after here. And keep in mind too, these are going to stack on top of each other. I want to let these dry really well before I go stacking them. They are going to stack kind of on top of each other. So you're going to see like through here. So it should be kind of interesting. I am, since I'm going to stack, and I'm going to put these, I'll have to decide. I'll probably go that direction with that. And anyway, like I said, I also want to let these dry before I get them all messed up. So I have pulled out 3 markers. These are Stampin' Up! And they have a brush tip and a regular tip. And I pulled out 3 that I thought might go pretty well with this. And I'm thinking not quite navy is maybe the best color choice to go with the Uncharted Mariner, although this is the least juicy of my options here. These are kind of old stamps. But I'm just going to try and attempt to make a few lines here. I'm actually going to go kind of crazy and make a lot of lines. Kind of to indicate, like, you see all of these things have these really great circular lines, and I kind of want to create that same look here. And I'm just going to draw in some lines because I think this is going to make it look really cool once this is all layered together. So I'm just pulling, like I said, some ideas from the scrapbooking paper and the I'm putting all of these images together, and I think it's going to be really fun how these all layer together in the end. With the vellum. I think just having lots of cool layers here is going to be fun. That line did not go where I want it to go. That's okay. I kind of feel like these lines should be all kind of measured out, but I'm not measuring them. I guess I could have gotten out my compass. I'm really happy I switched the blues, as you saw, because that other one, like I said, was just not it's kind of dry, didn't really want to do this, didn't want to play today, and I do not have the patience for markers that don't want to play the game. I am trying to draw these back to a central line, to a central point, not super successfully. I want to get really scientific about this. Maybe this is why I'm not an astronomer. Well, I mean, I could do this. I could get out a compass. I have one. I just actually bought one last month. Back to school because I didn't have one. I think that that's going to be enough. And so we'll do our other piece. I think that that adds a lot. I'm a little concerned about this not drying. I guess I could put a little bit of, I could probably just dry it with a piece of paper without smudging it too much. See, it's coming up through there. That was just a lot of ink. Oh, that worked fantastic. Okay. I feel a lot better. It just looked really wet before. I doubt you can see it, but I could see it. This whole thing looked very wet. It was making me very nervous that it was gonna like just get smudges everywhere, all over everything, which I don't want. So just kind of gonna keep going with this. I might make some like dotted lines on this one. Not too many. And I'm just pulling patterns out of these different papers and these different things to make everything seem a little bit like it's part of the same thing. Unifying. So I guess this could go underneath or it could go on top of, and it doesn't really matter too much. And they can be flipped opposite too, so you have options, and it won't really matter. I just kind of want to keep interesting. I feel like that's the best way. I'm just looking at all these moons that I've stamped on here, and I kind of want to spread them out. I should have been a little more spare with those, maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. And it doesn't matter because I'm going to put some of these like larger elements around here, and those are going to kind of push a lot of this background stuff that I've just created into the background a little bit. So I put that as the top piece. I think 2 is fine. I was kind of considering getting a 3rd, but I think I'm just going to leave it at 2. I wonder if I should put both of these on the top. I don't think so. I think one of them should definitely go behind. Okay, I'm putting that there. And I like to use just this. And I'm going to put a postage stamp on the back. Oh my gosh, what is going on here? Did I turn that over? It's the same on the front and the back. Oh my gosh. Oh. I love that so much. It's so perfect for this. Okay. Crazy. I wasn't totally expecting that. I don't know why. Okay. So that's cool. So I'm going to put that there. This is a really, I don't usually do layered compositions like this, and it's a little bit challenging, and I love it. It's cool. Okay. So now I've put that down, and I guess, okay. So the next layer is going to be sticking these down using these washi stickers, and I guess I could ink the edges of these, but I don't think I am. And I think that this is going to add like just another layer of this. and layers and layers and layers, and I'm super excited to see how this comes out. This is all very experimental. Just a big experiment. Sorry, I'm being a little particular here. I'm trying to line this up, and I'm also kind of want to keep the second part of this tape where I'm not going to use it to stick this down and it's going to go off the edge. So, there's a lot going on here because I'm just being kind of particular about all this. And I do want it to go to that edge. Line up on, I'm going to overlap on that edge. And it's going to be fine. That is just how that has to go. Overlapping on the edge a little bit and then cutting it off is, I kind of got it in my mind, that I wanted to keep the rest of this sticker, being very frugal with what I have here because I don't have enough, right? I don't know what's going on exactly. Okay. Yes, got it in my mind I wanted to be very frugal and save that for something else. So that was a little more difficult than it maybe needed to be. Love it, love it, love it. So just putting on these layers, I guess it kind of looks like an astronomer's desk where they are doing their work and everything is just layers and layers. I am hopefully going to edit this video for you and not produce another, 3 or 4 hour video for this. Although, I am choosing to show a lot of the process and just make it really long. And it's just, I don't know. I want to kind of show this process and how I'm making these and how I'm designing them. That's just how I want these videos to be, I guess. Okay. And then we'll put this one on the top here. And I like how it's kind of centered in all of these lines. Okay. It's freaking me out. Okay. It's very cool how these are like lined up on the back. Just super well done. Also, I like it for the layering of this. So if you do take this off, you would be able to see like, oh, it's double-sided. That is amazing to me. Okay. Okay. And so I am going to put this down on this. I feel like this is directional, so I'm just checking to make sure it's the right way up. I don't know that that's super necessary. Because those stars are double-sided, you have the two sides of this, and you could take this out and look at it, and this one's very faint, and this one you can see the back of a little bit more, and it's not perfect because you can see where like the glue is stuck down on these, But, I mean, super cool. If you hold it up to the light, it's very, very cool. Love it. And you will be able to take that off because I am going to attach this, hopefully, with these. So the way I like, great metallic watercolor set that I have no idea where I got it from now, but I have it and I'm going to go for it. We're going to do it. And it's going to be perfect, and it's not going to run. It's totally going to run. How nervous are you? I'm pretty nervous. Okay. But I think it's going to be great. We have this color. We have kind of this black color. I don't think that we can do that. I don't really want to go into the gold. This might be good. This might be good. This might be really fun. We're going to be light-handed with this. Light-handed. This would match this, I think. This is very silver. Let's get some water. That color right there. That's the color. That's the color. It's kind of a little teal. A little light-handed, and hopefully all our markers don't get super wet and just start running all over the place and get really markery. It's not going to absorb on this vellum very well. It's just going to have to eventually dry. And it's too dry because I didn't want it to run, so I can't get it to fleck. Okay. How's it going? I think it's okay so far. I might also get some white and some black to go on here, just because okay. So it helped me, I think, enough that I had this. I should have gotten something purpley because the purple in the background, but that's okay. I might also do some white and some black flecks. To maybe round this out a little bit. I don't really know. I have so much paint in this brush. I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to try and get it back in there. Just a little bit. Okay. Actually, I mean, it's all fine. All kind of along the lines. Okay. To let that dry. So let's do the back of this. The sad thing about this is we're going to cover up the whole back of this card with this really cool paper. Because this is like shiny, pearlized paper. It's very cool. But I am going to just put this as a journaling card on the back. I mean, I guess I could do it over here and have a peek through of those holes, but which is also very kind of cool. But I'm not. I'm just going to mainly make this for a writing space. I'm going to do a little bit of decorating. Definitely put my postage stamps on the back here. I think I'm just going to glue this down and then glue this down. Decorate it up. Put all of this together. So we need to check, okay. Check the back. Make sure we're getting this on at the right, going the right direction, so we don't have it upside down on the back. It probably doesn't matter, but I say that it matters, so it matters. I definitely think that that is kind of a right and a wrong way to look at this, because there's words right here, so it would be wrong if it was like that, right? Upside down, totally upside down. You don't want that. Don't want totally upside down. And then we can decorate. Take some stamps. I am so excited that I got to use all this space ephemera that I have. And pulled it out and finally got to use it for something super cool for me. Okay, just leave it alone. I feel like it's not straight now, and might not be, but we're going to just leave it well enough alone. This is very cool. We might ink the background since we have the Uncharted Mariner. Let's try that. That looks very scientific, I think. That'll hopefully disguise the fact that I didn't cut that quite straight on that edge. It's fine. That makes this look a little bit like, I don't know, a little carbon copy accident going on here. Love the blue. Love the blue with this. Okay. So, let's see. Let's cap the ink and figure out what we're gonna do with this. Let's get our stamps out. I kind of want to put and this will leave lots of writing space. So let's use this one, although I do think this one, we could cut this one into strips because it's got like different pictures, but we also kind of want to use our postage stamps on here. And leave a lot of space for a lot to think about here. And of course, I can't get these backs off. Anybody knows a trick for doing this? I would love to hear it in the comments below. This is cool because you can see the graph paper lines underneath this through the phases of the moon. Very cool. Okay. And let's get those postage stamps on here. We want stamps. I'm checking to make sure I haven't thrown stuff all over my watercolor as it's drying over there. That's going to take a long time, guys. Well, that one's cool. Like that. Some of these might actually kind of match more. Okay, I'm going to use two. This is really I'm going to use 3 because I'm going to put one down here. They're so cool. Okay. I am layering these so as to, I'm usually not so hung up on covering things up, but for whatever reason today, I don't know if it's just because I like these or what, or I don't want to interrupt the information. So I am kind of layering them with the intention of keeping like as much of this other underlying stuff uncovered as I can. I don't know, but no, that's not what I wanted to do. Like on these, I'm placing these in this particular order because they have the cancellations on them, and I am looking at that, and I'm intentionally keeping those cancellations like showing because I think they're cool. So I put this one here instead of here so that I wasn't covering it up with this other stamp. You don't have to do it this way. I don't know if on a different day I would even be doing it this way. I feel like this one wants to be inked a little bit on the edges as well. And this, I'm just going to ink this because I feel like it's going to make this stamp kind of stand out a little bit better. Okay, so that leaves us lots of writing space to go on here, and I don't know, I mean, I'm almost tempted to go and cover that whole top of this with postage stamps, but I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it well enough alone. And I like this. This is actually, I worked from the lab that I worked in, and we had a whole bunch of old notebooks. We were moving, and one of the labs was throwing away a whole bunch of old notebooks, and I pulled a whole bunch of the blank paper out of it. So I have a whole bunch of this actual like notebook paper, and I think it looks just so cool. Oh, let's trim just the edges of these stamps where they're hanging off so they don't get stuck on anything. Okay. Hey guys, I believe this is dry. It has not been very long. I think it's very just warm in here. Hi, Grim. I know I came back and I'm still ignoring you. It's terrible. So I just want to kind of finish this up, and the only thing left is to really assemble this. I've got my scissors very, I'm obviously cutting stickers with them like I am now. So I'm trying not to cut my finger. And I'm just cutting these down so that they don't show between my layers. And since I have that tape on there, it might not really matter so much. It's just that it matters to me. So the way that I do this is I usually put this on all 4 corners and just lay the whole piece down. I like to use 4 corners for vellum, because obviously with the glue, anything you glue onto vellum, kind of, if I am going to glue, I use something like a glue stick, or I can run it through my sticker machine so that it makes it sticky on the back all evenly, because it's just so frequently that it kind of creates, it changes the transparency of your vellum, and I don't like it, so I'm always trying to sew it on or use the photo corners option. But I did use glue on these too because I glued those stars down, so I think it's okay, but it is not perfect. So there is that. Let's make sure. This is the journal card number 5, and this was postage stamp. And this was, I will say, all inspired by these postage stamp washi stickers that I have that are a space theme. So even though I haven't used necessarily the postage stamps on the front of this card, I did go to town with them on the back. So this is my astronomy themed journal card. I love this. I am super happy with how it's layered, and you can see the layers, and it's just very cool. I don't know, maybe I should have inked the edges, but I didn't, so I guess I could go back and do that. I did ink the edges on the back of here, and I like it a lot. And there's my postage stamps, and plenty of writing space on this card, and it's a fairly simple card compared to some. That will be a fun journal card to add to my collection. Love the layers. Hi everybody, I am starting flower for the challenge, and I have this foam stamp. I thought I was recording and I wasn't, so I've just been drawing on here with a marker some flowers, and I'm going to make some stamps. I am kind of to the point of cutting these out now, but I'll go and draw 1 or 2 more with you after I've cut these out. Just because, again, I know these are very long videos, but I am kind of showing you this whole process that I'm going through to plan these pages. And this is a thing, making your own foam stamps is kind of a thing. I've been watching Hazy Crazy Arts channel, and she does a lot of this, and they're just so cool. This one's going to be a little bit different than the ones she makes. I think I'm going to have to maybe stamp this with paint or with a ink. The ones that I've seen her do anyway, she generally stamps like these big thick outlines. So I have leaves and cats that I've already made. So I made this one will be kind of an outline stamp. It looks kind of actually more like a spider web now. I might cut this one out. I might save that one for later. That wasn't really what I was going for. I kind of want a 5-petal flower and to cut out the inside. Just keep moving that. And I think it'll be fine. Okay. There is that and that, and I think that's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to leave this. This looks a little bit more like a okay, I don't know. I'm probably going to cut that out too. So how I made these is really largely like this. So first I'm drawing a circle for the middle. It's a good starting point. And then I'm going to draw out these lines, and right now I'm thinking I want to make kind of a star shaped. I want to make something just like this, only I want it to have 5 petals instead of 6. So I'm just going to draw 5 lines coming out of here, kind of evenly spaced. So you have a star shape. And then what I want to do is what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the center of this, and I want to make a petal that goes like this off of here. And then I want to cut out this whole center. So when you're stamping this, what you're going to stamp is this petal and the center, and then this will be out. So, and I think that's going to be cool, and it's going to be a whole different look. So let's try that. And I'm sorry that I didn't record when I drew the other ones, but it was more or less kind of along the lines of this. And you can see that I did not cut out the inside of those flowers, that I left these. These are going to have a very different look. You'll see when we start stamping how they look different. I hope this works, and that I'm leaving enough foam. This might be getting kind of tricky. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. Because right now I am cutting these petals so that they are kind of not attached by a whole lot to the center. But I do think that this gives a different kind of a fun look to your flowers. I just love how these really kind of stamp out too, and how they have this just really graphic look. This one's gonna be wonky, and that is great. It is a little bit hard to I'm trying to imagine how this is going to look, and I think I'm going to love it, but we'll see. We will see. So I'm just going to patiently cut each one of these flowers out. Now I have to cut this in, and then I'm going to cut out the inside of these petals so that I only have, and I'll leave the center and the outside of the petals will be the only thing that's left. I don't know the best order to do this. Should be fun. So I was excited to get the flower prompt. I'm super excited to see what everybody else does with it. I really liked what Amy did with hers. Those were some really pretty colors that she used. I really liked the yellow gold colors that she used in her prompt. I'm also super excited to see what everybody else thinks about this. I like the idea of making your own stamps because it's just super cool they look really cool in projects. I do kind of want to get this super angular. It's getting a little bit difficult to get in there with my stamp, with my scissors, I mean. Well, I'm interested to see what this looks like because it didn't really get that super sharp, pointy shape, but it's a little hard to tell because the foam is thick, and so and these are really sharp scissors. It's just hard to tell, like, on the stamping surface versus, like, if you have it straight or not. But I do think that if I cut to these corners and then I just have to cut those edges, that might make a difference. Go a little bit farther. Okay. Let's see if I can get my scissors lined right up in there. Cut that. I'm trying to get my scissors all the way up into the corner and making the cuts that way. Little bit of an art to this if you're going to be particular. I'm super excited to see these. I do really, like I was saying, love the kind of graphic look that this gives, and you can of course use this again and again and again on different projects, and it's kind of your own work at this point, and it becomes your own art, so you don't have to worry about copyrights and things like that if you make your own stamps. Right? And I love making my own ephemera and my own images, and so this is just a really cool way of going about it. And also, the reason I wanted to do this is that I wanted to try using these on my jelly plate and making some jelly prints using my own stamped images, because I thought that could be really cool. So once I have these different images, I think it will be fun to do that. And I am building up. I've made all of these in just the last couple of days, so, and there's a few over there on the desk that I haven't, I have a circle and a star shaped that I haven't even used or tried yet, but they're all over there in the works. So maybe when I finish this and the other prompt that I'm doing this week. And then oh gosh, okay. And then I have so many things going on right now. I have so many ideas. And I'm going in so many different directions. I need to sit down and kind of make myself a schedule, and I'm kind of doing it right now as I'm just talking. So, not to be giving away the national secrets, let's see. I have said that I did do make some paper beads, and so I want to kind of give some paper bead ideas out. Probably on Saturday's video, we'll probably be doing paper beads. I say that. And I don't know if I can do that because I need to catch up on my prompts. So, because I'm doing the Kiki's Life and Sarcastically 60 something are doing the artisan journal prompt, and I'm working on that, and I'm behind on that one too. So I have a whole bunch of those. Maybe next Tuesday I could do paper beads and using those in your junk journal in different ways, and I want to make these cute little people. And then anyway, I should get my prompts all in line this week, so we'll see. I might have to release some extra. I'm already releasing extra videos this week, but I guess that's okay. Except for I do kind of want to get ahead on my shooting and editing, because I am concerned about that going forward. Just getting ahead would be great, so that when I have these weekly prompts that I'm doing, I can. This is a lot more complicated than these two, obviously, because I'm cutting out the inside parts of this. So it's going to give me just kind of a very different look. I'm going to have to figure out how I should just, I'm trying to change this. I always do this. So yeah, I think cutting to the center, or to the center of this, to the angle, cutting into the angle, I think works a lot better. And then cutting the long edges versus whatever I tried to do here. I did not do that, and it's just messier. So that worked out. Look at that. How cool is this flower gonna be? Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's save this spider webby thing for later. This could be, I do think that that could be a spider web stamp. Perfect for Halloween. Also maybe perfect for a flower garden. I don't know, flower gardens have spiders, right? That would be a different take on that, I'm sure, than anybody was thinking. I'm not sure what to do about this background. So let's stamp some of these. I have a whole bunch of let's try these out. Let's see what these look like. So honestly, let's try these, and let's try both of these at once. And because I think is what I want to do is stamp these and then cut them out, and I'll decorate them a little bit and use them on my card. And I'm going to save this one because this one's going to be a little bit different, and I'm going to stamp it probably. So this one I'm probably going to stamp in black. But this one I want to stamp with, because these are going to be solid block colors, I want to stamp these with different colors and see how they look. First things first, and what I want to do is glue. This is the Craft Bond repositionable glue stick, and so I'm just gonna apply some glue to this and put this onto my stamp. So I'm just gonna, this might actually take a stamp or two for it to get enough ink on it, so we'll see what happens. And again, these stamp pads, I've had these for years and I haven't used them in a long time, so I'm not even sure. It is coming up. This is just a dye ink yellow, so saffron. This is Stampin' Up pad. We'll see. But that's not bad. That is, oh yeah, excellent. Okay, love it. This is so cool. Okay, I am thrilled to death. I haven't really made my own stamps this way before, and I'm just super excited to be doing it now. Like a kid with new toys. These are very cool. Okay. So I'm just gonna make a bunch of these, and then I'm gonna probably do some marker around them, add some centers maybe, and all of that. So let's try some different pink ones as well. And I don't know if I'm gonna make a lot of flowers right now, and then I'm gonna decide which ones I want to use. So I am making ephemera, an ephemera, and I don't have a piece of paper to stamp onto. These are just kind of some scrap. I want to switch colors. Anyway, these are already glued together, so I don't know, they're gonna become scraps. I don't know how. There you go. Okay. Just trying to get enough of that off of there. That is a little bit fainter, or I just didn't bother to ink it as much. This is, what color is this? Rose red? Regal Rose. Regal Rose. These are old Stampin' Up colors. They have such a really nice color palette. I don't understand why it's, maybe because there's something underneath here. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe the edge of the stamp pad. These look cool. I'm pretty happy with these. I like these kind of graphic looking stamps, and I think it's fun. Okay, so now I'm gonna try a little bit of let's get some more of this book page. I guess I could use different book pages. But let's do some Kitsch Flamingo from our friend Timmy. And I'm gonna start with the, let me put these. These have lasted for a long time. I'm pretty happy. about this because I don't know how long I've had them, but it's been a long time. And so they're still going strong. Announcement. And I don't have anchors for these, so when they're gone, they're just gone. So this is the Kitsch Flamingo, which I think is a kind of fun bubblegummy kind of a pink color. And this is the Distress Oxide, and here is, I'll tell you what I know about this. The Distress Oxide should be a little more opaque than the Distress Ink. I'm going to stamp both of these because we have them. And I think pink flowers are fun. I could get, let's see, what else do I have? Orange. I have Crackling Campfire for orange. Woohoo! Okay. One of the things I like to do with this is I like to put this, stamp these inks onto something that's wet. Look at, like, that's the second print off of that, and it's still got so much. So inky. So inky. Okay, let's get that all the way on there. So that one's kind of fading out. Okay. So let's go ahead and throw that over there. And I'm going to get another sheet for, so that's the Distress Oxide, and you can see that that's like fairly opaque comparatively. And then this is the Distress Ink, and it's mixed with the oxide, it looks like, on this one. And it's probably going to get more so. I like to do this like this. Okay. Scoosh you two together a little bit. And you can stamp these individually. Same color, only very different color. This actually looks a lot like, it's almost identical to the Regal Rose, honestly. Is it not? But it's so different than the Distress Oxide. Very cool. These are also really fun to spray this, because this is part of the fun of this, is that you get these really cool effects when you do on a wet surface. So let's just play around and see what it looks like, and you get this kind of more watercolory effect, which is very cool. I mean, ish. I don't know. I don't see it as much on here. That's okay. I guess we could do some yellow if you guys want. That's kind of cool. Or orange. I have orange. I'm just gonna do one more with the orange, and I'm just gonna do whichever one I find first, because I also have a Distress Ink in orange, and I'm gonna include that in case I want it. orange flowers, so they're available for us. That's very dark orange. One way we can solve this is by just doing another stamp, in case we want more like a suggestion of orange instead of like screaming orange. Right? And this is the Distress Ink and Crackling Campfire, which is really just floating my boat right now. That's just, I mean, it's putting out a lot of ink, guys. So much ink. Okay. So now we have some sheets. So now we have some beautiful flowers. Okay. Oh, okay, we have those. So I'm gonna put these all aside because we want to do a little bit of playing and decorating with those. And we have a whole bunch of flowers that we can kind of decide what we want to do with. But I wanted to show you this one other stamp, right, that I made. And let's look and see how this guy stamps out. I'm gonna punch a hole in the middle of this, I think. So this stamp I'm gonna treat a little bit differently. I do kind of want to cut a hole in the center of this carefully so as not to have the whole thing falling apart. Hi, Graham. You're going to come help now, right at the critical moment, I see. Hopefully I can just get one round hole in the center. And it's a little bit ripped, and I'm a little bit happy about that because it makes it a little less look like a hole punch and a perfect hole. It makes it look, it's very thin right there. Hopefully that will be okay. All right, now let's put a little bit of glue on the back of here, carefully. All coming off in bits and pieces. I feel like I'm probably gonna have to stop filming here soon, but maybe not. I realize this has been going on for quite some time. I don't want to have like too much editing to do to make this a not 6-hour process video. But it was necessary to make stamps, flower stamps for you. It really was, because this is what I want to do, and when we got flour, I wanted to make specifically flower stamps. So for us to have forever and ever. So this is going to be really fun. The thing about these, where you've got the cutouts, you can stamp it onto something like a lot more exciting like this. And get kind of these instantaneous results. So this is just a black archival ink. I feel like it's always a little bit purpley, but so let's stamp this someplace where we think will be a nice flower. Ta-da! Like, do you not love that? Why is that one so thin? Because it is very, very thin. That's fine. These are just, I love this. It's so great. Is it not? Is that not just beautiful? And I think that these will be fun to put like right onto a fun to have as on a jelly plate prints. And I haven't gotten around to that because I just got this foam and I'm just starting to make these stamps, but I am super excited to go there and do that. And I'm sure that some of you have already done that and can tell me all about it. But And I'm just gonna keep going here because I love the look of it. I really just love the look of these stamps. And the patterns and the way that they're kind of see-through, and it's just fabulous. So do try this at home. I highly recommend that. So we'll put that in our pile, and I'm gonna do a few more. I'm not gonna get too crazy. Did I have like a yellow? I'm gonna make a yellow over here that's a little bit more like less. I love these graphic like stamps. I think that they look great. And I am super excited to just kind of keep playing with this. I love this idea. So now what I want to do is I want to go back in and for all of these flowers, kind of work on decorating them a little bit. So probably is what I'm going to do is make a border. And just kind of make them a little more interesting. And I think another thing you could do here is, and you could add different colors. You don't have to do black and white. You could do, I mean, pink on pink. Why not? And I think that could be kind of cool and fun. Ooh, that's black on black now. I always get black in my lighter colors here. Let this be a lesson to me to let the black dry. Or else it never comes out. Here I'm kind of thinking of like a flower that would have like lilies sometimes have these really pretty kind of freckly looks. So we'll add that. This is a metallic marker too, and it's just pink on pink. And adding some stippling. Kind of effect. I could add just some of those flower lines with this, and it's fine if they kind of go outside the lines as well. I think that will be good. Maybe we'll get this one yellow center, and there's no wet getter, so we shouldn't have problems. have stamped these and inked them and drawn them. I'm pretty happy with these. I am gonna take this sheet and put it on my Ko-fi shop, so you can go there and download this and use it in your journals. And I'm gonna make it free, so feel free to donate if you want to. That is totally and completely up to you. But I think is what I'm gonna do is just take these book page flowers and kind of make just a garden out of these. Hello, Nova. Nova Ember has joined me here. I really like this, so probably is what I'm going to do is leave this space. So what I think is I like this kind of more interesting background going on here. And I think this will make a nice, good background for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a piece that will fit in here to kind of outline this, and it'll give it a little bit more interest. I'm going to do that. This is 4x6, so I just want to cut a piece where it will kind of fit here. Let's use this. I am really hoping that I can, so I want to kind of have this, it's already got this this border here, which I don't really necessarily want to cover up. So I'm going to try and rip this so that that is still there. How's that? But that'll give me a place to put my flowers and have a background that's a little less plain than what we had before. So I'm going to glue this down. I'm just going to draw some like I just want to draw some background in here. I'm not really sure. I might just draw some kind of dashed lines in the background. Maybe like you might see if we're following a butterfly path or something. Because I just feel like the background needs something, and I'm kind of thinking it needs leaves. Okay. I know that's crazy. It is a little crazy. I have some leaves, so I'm gonna also stamp some leaf shapes on here from my leaves. Yeah, I'm starting to like this a lot better, honestly. I really and truly am kind of thinking that, yeah, it was just kind of plain in the background, and I like this a lot better. And the other thing is, I have these leaves that I've stamped all red that I've already made into stamps. And so I think I'm gonna make some just big leaves in the background as well. In maybe, I don't know, kind of a subtle green color. I don't want these to like super stick out, but I do kind of want to have something that's suggesting that we are in a I'm just gonna go with that. And I mean, you know, it's gonna definitely be there. And I do think, so this is just going to give us some background. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into those spaces and I'm going to do a little bit of adding a little bit of color using markers that are also in greens and yellows, and just kind of make some marks in there and kind of fill that in and give it some pattern and some color inside there that's a little bit subtle. Maybe this is Sage Shadow from Stampin' Up. Does this even work? I think that that matches pretty well with this. So, oh, I don't know. I think that'll be fun. And I'm just gonna do some fun mark making and doodles on here, because this is the best part of this, obviously. Where's your daddy? The neighbor came home. Where's your daddy? Is he coming home too? You stuck with Mama. Oh no. She is such a smart cat. She's probably the smartest cat we have, honestly. This is gonna get very busy, and that's fine by me. I think I'm just going to do kind of the same thing in each of these leaves and let it repeat. And then I might do the same thing on the outside of the leaves too. I don't know. At this point, I'm just having fun for me, so it doesn't really matter. And this is going to be mostly covered up anyway, so I think it's just going to be fine. I also kind of want to get something going on in the background here. Because it was very plain and it needed some sort of a busy, happy garden look. It might go fine. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm mixing styles and stuff here, so maybe I'm not going to go and find. I'm going to leave well enough alone. Once I get these things kind of where I want them, they're just going to go. Doodling all the day. Do these match? No, they do not. Do we care? No. I just kind of, again, I'm trying to fill in some of these spaces so that they look a little bit like there's something there, and this is going to be very busy, but it's also kind of subtle with the color, tone on tone. Well, that's very different. I wonder if I should fill in some of these like embossed insect images. What do you think? Maybe. Could be fun. Oh my. I feel like I would need new colors. This should be like the dragonfly. Crazy patterns here and crazy colors so you can see it a little bit better. It's just the ugly stage. Sorry, I am trying to do like a full, I'm not trying. I am, it turns out, doing a full mixed media art spread for each of these prompts. I don't know what's going on with me exactly, but actually oh, I like it. Oh, okay. I think that's gonna get us there. I don't know how I'm going to, actually, it's very weird, but we just need more flowers. More flowers. More flowers. More flowers. Okay. think that I've gotten somewhere where this is kind of what I wanted. So I'm gonna put that there, and then I'm gonna add one of these yellow ones here, and I think that's gonna do it. That was a lot more than I was planning on doing, but yes, yes, yes. Okay, I like it now. These are already partially stuck down because they do have some glue on the backs of them. Yay! Little Chimblette. Eek. Eek on freak. Hello, Gran. Oh no, who's in my bed? Could it be the little girl? Uh-oh, I'm sorry, Graham. She is there. Yes, she is. You came just in time to get your cat hair into my picture. Oh, I'm going to a wedding on Friday. Hey, 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 hey. You're in a mood. Why are you so cranky? She is throwing punches at Graham, which is not very nice because this is kind of his turf. Which is probably why she's trying to throw punches at Graham. I don't like it. I don't know what I'm going to do going forward. I might have to simplify how I'm doing these cards. I just kind of get excited and I want to do things the way that I want to do them. Anyway, I will have to decide what I'm going to do with these because I'm going pretty crazy here. I mean, I have literally been working on this 2 cards for quite some time now, hours today, and the ones that I did before is kind of the same thing. And obviously, I mean, I don't really need to make handmade stamps for each one, and I just did that because I already had the idea to do it, and then I got the prompt, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, that'll be fun. That will be fun, and these look amazing. I'm just thrilled with how these came out. So do head over to my Ko-fi shop, please, if you're interested in downloading these and using them in your own endeavors. I would love it if you would if you do wind up using these and you want to link them into my community on Facebook. I think that would, I mean, it'd thrill me to death. So, you know, do that. I know I get carried away sometimes, but I'm just having fun, and I like to do, you know, once I get an idea, I want want to go for it, and that's what I want to do. And I am really loving this collage now. Excellent, excellent. Okay. And I'm just going to paint over this because this has kind of a very specific finish, and I want it to be kind of the same because this is a varnish finish. I think the bugs are interesting enough as they by themselves. I should have put down some paper or something underneath this, so I'm going to go wash this off. And all I need to do to finish this out really is to let this dry, and then I'm going to put a piece of paper on the back of here to make that writing space, and I have some paper that I want to use for that that's lined. So I'm going to let that dry, and I'm going to go wash out my brush. I'm going to wash off my working space, and I'll come back and finish this card and show you what I've made today. I have this green paper. It comes actually very handily for your journals. It comes in a landscape size. I have these packs of paper, and fantastic. They are lined this way, so you can fold this in half and put it into a journal that's like, you know, the typical 8.5 by 11 size, and have sheets. I think it's a little bit taller actually. I think this is 9 by 11. So it's a little bit taller. You can trim the bottom off if you need to, but you can have lines that run this way if you use these. And there's a link to these in my Amazon shop if you check that link below. I just want to say that because it's really cool, and I'm super for using in your journals to get like lines that are running in the right way. And I'm using it, and it comes in, I mean, there's tons of colors that these come in, and different packs that you can get, and it's maybe a little expensive, but it works out to like 3 to 5 cents a sheet, so it's not terribly expensive. And like I said, it's just such a cool item to have if you want to have lined paper in your journal. This is one kind of cool way to do it. I have little pieces of fuzz on my card. It's a little bit upsetting. I don't know if I cut this the right size, and I shouldn't assume that I didn't. It should be pretty close, I thought. So this is this really last step. I can decorate this a little bit more, but I think I'm gonna call this done here, and let me show you flower and postage stamp. So this is flower. Obviously it's still not quite dry. I should be leaving this well enough alone until it is. It's not quite dry. But I made stamps to make these flowers, and I have put them into this onto this beautiful paper, cardstock paper, and built a flower garden for this. This will dry and it'll be less sticky. I think I love this a whole heck of a lot. I think it's gorgeous. I just noticed that I didn't bring the microphone back over here, so hopefully you guys can hear me and the microphone has picked up on everything. I hope so. Just noticing that now after recording all day long. Love this for flower. The only thing is I'm thinking I might come back in here later and add a border around here in just some cardstock, like a frame looking kind of a thing, because I think that that could be fun and tie the bottom and the top together. But I do think it looks like a flower garden that's just kind of bursting out. So there's that. Check the Ko-fi shop, and I will put that sheet of flowers in there for you, and there's a link to that in the bio. And this is where we layered vellum. on here with stars and the star pattern, and I just went crazy because remember I have these postage stamps of astronomy postage stamps, and I just pulled out all of my ephemera and made this kind of cool star map. And I love, the cool thing about this is the layers on this vellum, and this can come out and you can see all the way back into the very beautiful background paper. Or you could take this whole thing out and check it out. But I just love playing with these layers, and I thought it was a really cool idea to have the vellum layers being kind of see-through and all these elements kind of peeking through. And maybe this could use a sentiment. I guess I could add a sentiment here or here, and that might kind of finish this out, but I might wait until I'm ready to journal on this journal card. So I am super excited to be building my ephemera library with hashtag 50 stack challenge 20 or 7. It's not 2025, it's 50 stack challenge 7, hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat. Yes, sorry. And a big thanks to her for putting this challenge together. It's been wonderful so far, and this is the finish of week 3 for these prompts, and I am super excited about adding these to my stack. And gosh, I'm having so much fun. I can't wait until next Monday when she puts out the next prompt. So follow along if you're interested. Check out what everybody else is doing by following the hashtag. And I'm gonna go make dinner. Bye!